agent, you really need to have a list of highly recommended vendors that you can recommend to your clients. You want to be able to recommend it whenever they ask, like, oh, do you have a handyman? Do you have an electrician I can call to fix this? And you're going to be referencing them both while you're under contract, as well as once they're in the home, because you want to keep up with your top of mind and keep in contact with them. They might, down the road, even a year after buying a home from you, they might be like, oh, I have to fix something. Do you have someone you can recommend? And so this vendor list is really important. One thing they say in the real estate world is you need to recommend 3 vendors for each area. So if it's electricians, you should be looking for 3 really good electricians that you can recommend. And so how do you find these recommendations? How do you know that they're any good? Well, if you've experienced with them, it really helps, because you have firsthand experience. Be like, oh, I used them and they were really awesome. And here's what they did for me. Here's how much they charged. And really have that good rapport with them. Now, the other way to find out who good vendors are is to ask your brokerage. Ask the other agents in your brokerage. You can ask agents outside your brokerage as well, if they're willing to share some good recommendations. And a lot of people are happy to recommend really good companies just for their sake, for the company's sake. Then sometimes they say, well, let them know I recommended them. And you can ask your family. If your family lives nearby or friends live nearby and they've had any work done in their home, ask them who they use and if they like them or not. And ask on Facebook. So if you're into social media, ask your people there as well. That's a great place for finding out ideas. And I've also gone to Home Depot and Ace Hardware, Lowe's, asked them if they knew any locals that would do specific type of work that they could recommend. And a lot of times they're happy to do that. Your realtor association can also have a list. So I know that BARA, which is the Boulder area for realtors association, they have a list of recommended vendors as well. So that's a nice starting point. They had a whole booklet full of people that I can at least start with to work with and find out more about. Now, you can also do research. So, you've got access to Google. You can look at Google reviews, Yelp reviews, Angie's List reviews. There's lots of different sites where you can look up reviews. The Better Business Bureau is really important just to make sure that they're rated or not rated, maybe. So a lot of them, small contractors, are not rated yet. But if they have an F rating, you might really be wary of recommending them to someone. Because remember, your clients might actually research as well on the internet who you recommend. And if it comes up like really bad reviews, they're going to be a little bit more questionable about why you're recommending them. So having testimonials or stories from friends, family, from yourself, as well as reading some of the reviews from people online about those contractors and vendors can really help build up what you're recommending, who you're recommending, and why you're recommending them. Then I also highly recommend that you actually call them, talk to them, go to the vendor. If they have, if it's a flooring company, go visit the flooring store, talk to the sales associates, see how they interact, see how they talk, see what their prices are like, find out more about what their business is and how they perform their business, what kind of service that they have. So you have some firsthand knowledge about, oh yeah, when I went there, they were so friendly. They really asked me all the right questions as far as, helping me figure out what was the best solution for myself. And even if you're not doing an upgrade or anything, you can still do this to go find out, to do your due diligence, to find out and be familiar with what's going on and who these people are and how good they are. Now with vendors, you want to offer at least 3 different options, and that gives your clients a lot of opportunity to look and check around, to shop around. And so if for some reason they don't gel with the first one on your list, who maybe is your all-star person, sometimes personalities just don't match up. And so at least you've given them 2 others as well. And then if they decide, if they're the type that want to price shop and see, well, how much a new air conditioner is from this company, and this company, at least you've given them 3 that you recommend are good to find out prices from. So then they can do their own price shopping, and you've given them the head start of who to begin with those 3. And with your vendor list, be sure to update it every year. Take a look, make sure they're still in business, because it's really bad to be recommending somebody who's no longer in that line of work. And so you want to check once a year, maybe even more frequently. Maybe whenever you send out recommendations, just check those websites, make sure they're still active and valid. Call the phone number, make sure they haven't been deactivated or changed out, so you know that you're giving a proper recommendation.